Hello, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh, author, educator, and owner of the Multicultural Bookstore in Richmond, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. You can also find us on my website at onceuponatimeinblackhistory.com. Our shows are sponsored by the Multicultural Bookstore, and if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please send me an email at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. Alrighty then, let's get this party started.
In the quiet of early mornings, at the Navy's David Taylor Model Basin in Maryland, a young woman sat behind a computer, coding, calculating, thinking faster than most around her could even follow. She wasn't just designing a ship, she was reconfiguring a system that never expected someone like her to exist. This is the story of Raye Montague, an innovator, a pathbreaker, and a woman whose genius powered the U.S. Navy, even when her name did not. Raye was born in Little Rock, Arkansas, in 1935. This was the Jim Crow South, and she knew exactly what that meant. When she was 7 years old, her grandfather took her to see a captured German submarine, a relic of World War II, being toured across the United States. She stood in line, climbed aboard, and asked one question. "Who builds something like this?" The white tour guide looked at her, surprised that a little black girl had asked, and told her, "Engineers." From that moment on, she knew. But dreams weren't enough, not in a country that didn't see you. She applied to engineering schools and was denied. So she earned a business degree at Arkansas AM&N College, an HBCU, and taught herself engineering on the job. She arrived in Washington, D.C. in the late 1950s and was hired by the U.S. Navy as a typist, not a technician, not a designer, a typist. For real? However, she would go on to revolutionize how the Navy designed ships. Her son, David Montague, described her reality like this. She had 3 strikes against her. She was black, she was a woman, and she was from the South. But she always told me, "You don't let people tell you what you can't do. You show them." And that's what she did. In the 1970s, during the Cold War, the Navy needed ships designed faster and more efficiently. One day, the lead engineer was out sick, and Raye was told to run the system. What they didn't know is that she had been quietly teaching herself after hours for years. She stayed all night, ran the programs, built the model, and in just 18 hours, she produced the first computer-generated draft of a U.S. Navy ship. That same task used to take the Navy 2 years. That design became the foundation for the FFG-7 frigate, and it changed the course of naval engineering. But there was no press conference, no credit on the front page. She kept showing up, kept innovating, kept leading. Eventually, she became the first female program manager of ships in Navy history, earning the civilian equivalent of a captain's rank. David Montague remembered, "She never bragged. She didn't even tell me until I was grown how much she had done. She just said, 'I did my job.'" But it wasn't just a job. She opened doors that had been welded shut. Like the women of Hidden Figures, Raye Montague stood in that same powerful lineage, Black women whose intellect changed history, while the world looked the other way. She passed away in 2018, just weeks after being formally honored by the U.S. Navy. Before she passed, she left us with this: "You'll have a lot of obstacles in your path. Don't let them stop you. Use them as stepping stones." Raye Montague didn't just build ships. She built bridges, quietly, fiercely, with a pen in one hand and a blueprint in the other. She proved what was possible.
Now imagine that. See you next time. Thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a Time in Black History. For more information on this topic and others, visit the Multicultural Bookstore at multiculturalbookstore.com. And again, if you want to advertise in our podcast for a mere $25, please contact me at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. See you next time.